when you come across a challenge, set your mind and heart on the mission of figuring out a solution, and you'll eventually definitely figure out a solution. My name is Asma Ahmad, and I'd like to tell you more about where I'm coming from in life, mentally rather than physically. So my life experience has drastically shaped by a very intense incident that I have to go through along with my parents at the age of 7, when they had to migrate from Kuwait back to Palestine because of war. And on the top of the financial hardship that we had to go through, we were socially judged because we have developed some sort of different mannerisms abroad. And no matter how hard you try to be part of the system, you'll be always judged or excluded. So because of that, I lost myself to studying, as if I was searching for a way to prove my worthiness to others. So I was among the top 10 in Palestine for the high school, and because of that, I managed to get a full scholarship. And I studied computer information technology, Palestine. I rushed through because I wanted to escape the environment, go abroad and explore. And I moved to the city. I was working as supply chain officer for one of the Procter & Gamble suppliers in Palestine. And I was working non-stop for 2 years to get a scholarship. And I managed to land a full scholarship at one of the top 4 business schools in the UK. There I experienced isolation of higher intensity. I was the only one coming from the Middle East, and I had some sort of interest from others that I was not used to. So I resorted to myself. I closed myself from interacting with my colleagues, and I wanted to drop out, to be honest. But then, because of a promise I made to my mom, I pushed myself through, and I started to share with others my construct, what I'm made of, my own interpretation of my own culture. And unconsciously, I have curated the safe space for others to come and share their own interpretation about their cultures and where they're coming from in life. And because of that transformation, I was nominated and shortlisted for Women of the Future Award, along with other 4 ladies at the UK level. That experience has taught me the power of empathy, allowing myself to be fully seen, and even building this proactiveness to learn about other people and learn from them. So I went back to Palestine. I joined the consultancy industry, one of the big 4, and I moved with them to the Gulf. I laddered up in no time, and I would say more of a male-dominated profession, but I was focusing on 3 key areas: empowering the team, focusing on the priority accounts across the region, and building a practice that is in a complete alignment with the company overall quality management procedures. I carried on doing this until July 2017. I have always had this interest to learn about other people. I've been always intrigued to explore the otherness of others. First, because I was judged by others, so I had that curiosity to explore their construct and what they're made of. And then because when my parents went back to Palestine, they lost everything. And I've realized at a very young age that safety does not come from laddering up in big companies. It doesn't come from owning or accumulating wealth. It should come from within, and it comes when we build our capacity to manage life challenges. To be able to manage my life challenges, I used to refer to people who looked completely different than me, to have access to their knowledge reservoir and learn from them, so I can better manage my life experiences. But I've never had the courage to pursue my true calling until in 2017, when life seemed very perfect. I was engaged, I was doing very well in my career, and then all of a sudden, of course, I resigned because I wanted to invest in establishing a family. Then my father fell seriously sick, and I broke up with my fiancé, and my security system shattered. And there I had no choice but to resort to myself and understand why I was emotionally triggered. And I started to think, I want to build that authentic power that comes from within. And I started to go out there and explore the cultures that are within each one of us. I have been always fascinated by the sophistication of my parents. Though they're coming from a very simple background, they hardly finished their 4th grade, both of them, My father has been always a farmer, a shepherd. I climbed up mountains with him proudly, but he still has this norm of not allowing people when they come to our house to talk about others. So I grew up not judging others and minding my own business. And the second source of inspiration to me is my mom. To me, she's an icon for perseverance. Perseverance to me is consistency in faith, drive, and hard work. The way she embraced us after the Gulf War, the way she enabled us to dream and dream big has been a source of inspiration to me. There's an equivalent to faith in Arabic called yaqeen, which is basically the kind of faith that is instilled in every single bit of your body. And I've learned that from her. So we are all aware of the strong migration movement that the world has been experiencing or witnessing recently. And we're referring to both the domestic movement, where people migrate from the villages to the city, searching for a better life conditions, or migrating from one country to another to escape from wars. And the business of the new places might not allow the newcomers to integrate well. So as a result of that, there is ignorance, social isolation, some sort of loneliness, and most importantly, judgment that is limiting our capacity to relate to each other and learn from each other and even tackle challenges at the bigger scale. And this is specifically what Zaha addresses, the challenges that are resulting from such cultural and social shift in the world. What Zaha is? Zaha to us is a journey of a cultural movement in the form of a platform that taps into the intangible heritage of cultures in a way that would enable communities to become more culturally intelligent, to become more prepared to absorb and welcome and embrace the newcomers. We do so through developing experiences that tap into the individual culture. There are 4 levels of culture: the culture of a country, culture of a region or a city, organizational culture, and the individual culture, which is basically how our personal experiences shaping our interpretation of the other 3 levels of culture. So what we do in Zaha, we explore the culture that is within each one of us in a way that would allow us to present different examples from the same culture or country. And this way, we hopefully have less and less stereotyping and generalizing. And by focusing on the emotional and human aspects of the cultures, we allow another kind of a new dimension of a culture, which is the culture of humanity, to evolve. The second aspect, which I would say describes the uniqueness of Zaha, is basically that we document the experiences. We kind of document the exploration of the intangible heritage of cultures, and we share it under different themes that would enhance the financial and learning sustainability of the model. The model is aligned with the agenda of the key stakeholders in the area of cultural exploration, inclusion, tolerance. So hopefully we will be getting them soon on board to join forces and take Zaha to the next level. Zaha has taught me to build the courage to refer to people and ask for help. So I have been referring to the consultants I have worked with previously. I'm tapping into their own intelligence in the area of branding, finance, accounting, design, to help me figure out certain aspects of the model. We are also building a network of guardians, which are basically high-profile, well-accomplished people who have done it themselves, building something meaningful for the world. And we refer to them once every 6 months. We get 30 minutes of their focused attention to update them on the challenges and progress. And we are building also a network of Zaha advocates, kind of a brand ambassadors who would help us to spread the word about Zaha and get more people joining us to take it to the next level. I'd like to share more of lessons learned with entrepreneurs as humans, irrespective of their gender. Because I've never actually pursued life thinking that I'll earn less or have less because I am a female, even if the situations of life present themselves to me in a gender-based context. So I would say first, look at life through the lens of potential. When you come across a challenge, set your mind and heart on the mission of figuring out a solution, and you'll eventually definitely figure out a solution. I would say confusion is an inevitable part of the entrepreneurial process or journey. So when you come across confusion, again, look at it as undeciphered beauty. It's an opportunity for you to get to know yourself more, tap into your intelligence, and bring your consciousness to the next level. The moment you sense that there's something that speaks to your heart, that speaks to your being, don't ignore that calling, listen to it, and try to build something interesting around it. When people criticize you, have empathy for them, because it's your true calling. The seeds of it are planted in your soul. You see things others can't see. And I would say there's a sticker I wake up to each and every day. It says I'm enough, and so you are. Thank you.